Hi everyone, this is Laura Lynn from the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and this is Weekend Project. We've just finished our Christmas quilt and we're very excited to have it done. It was 12 weeks of lots of fun and different kind of blocks, but we needed to move on to something else. There's only just like 2 more weeks till Christmas, and I remembered that my dog Sophie doesn't have a stocking. We've kind of used extra spare ones around here that we had for her for the past couple of years. So I'm going to make her one. And this is a free pattern. It's a good size. This is just 2 sheets of 8 by 11, and you just tape it together. It's from Sew, S-O-S-E-W, Easy. So easy.com. You can easily find it there. Free stocking pattern and everything you need. So I had literally 2 buckets. This is how I keep some of my stuff that comes in and out of the shop of like customer stuff. But as I was working through our Christmas stuff, I was just putting it into 2 little buckets so I kept my Christmas stuff all together. So I need to build her a stocking. So this is kind of like going through your stash. I got all sorts of bits and bobs. And remember when we did our, I don't remember what block that was. Oh, that was for the bells, ringing out the cheer. That was for that leftover bit of that one. So, and I've got like a tiny little panel piece. I could use chunks of that. I mean, I got this for a steal deal, 99 cents. You know, I could start off with whatever I like. So I think I have to build 2, right? One for each side. So I may do 1 solid and 1 just pattern it up. Make sure I'm gonna get enough to cover. Yeah, make sure you're gonna either this way or that way. If you're doing your scrappy quilt, make sure you're gonna lay it out properly. So I'm just gonna pretty much pull from my bucket. I got lots of 2-inch or 2.5, you know, what is it? 2.5 inch strips from when I did a Christmas tree quilt. It's called Tree Farm. So I've got 2 of them to quilt up. You'll see that on Wednesday, actually. So speaking of that, so we're gonna get started here. And pick. I've got lots to, I mean, I could start off with some blue, like maybe some blue for the toe. I was going to do a dog bone. I guess we'll just put that down here for now. Do a dog bone on it so I know it's Sophie's, the dog's. Because I only got one dog and 1 cat. See, I got a bunch of strips of all sorts of fun stuff here. You know what? I think I'm just gonna pull and sew. That's what I'm gonna do. This is just gonna be some random. Make a nice big toe. I want a nice big toe. So let's be kind of the bottom. Oh, my foot is still at my head. Oops, sewing lessons here. And I put the foot of my pedal up for the kids when they come over. They get a little chair that boosts up too, so there we go. I was like, where's my pedal? So hopefully you've been having as much fun as I have on these weekend projects and enjoyed the Christmas one coming together. So I'm just going to put a 1/4 inch seam allowance between one strip and the next. And you don't have to, you can cut it on an angle. You can make that stocking pattern fit within your scrappy collection as much as possible. Like, you know, be crazy with it. Okay, let's take, this is a strip left over from my girlfriend. I had a girlfriend, she wanted some table runners. So this is a bit of strip left over from that and incorporated into some trees. She's been very handy with her supplies, her leftover bits, because she doesn't want them. I ask, she says no. I go, okay, me take. It's all good. So yeah, we're getting excited and ready for Christmas. I got a birch reindeer made up for me from my neighbor and friend down the road. I just love it. Haven't thought of a name for it yet, but we'll get there. It's got lights all wrapped around it, so it looks very pretty. I like Christmas. It's one of my favorites. Not just because of the presents. No. It's all about love and joy and peace. We have a couple of our own family traditions. It's usually just the 3 of us, my son and my husband and I, and we usually go to the movies on Christmas Day. We've noticed the past few years, lots of people are catching on to our idea, and we don't really like it. We like theater to ourselves. I'm kidding. Come on over. Share the popcorn. Oh, that was too dark. I want something lighter. Let's find some. Let's see, what's this? Cardinal? Oh yeah, this was a, see, this was a quilt with blocks in it but I did a boo-boo, so I had to rip it apart. That's what happens when you make boo-boos. You just recycle. Let's see. I think I can cut some of this actually somewhere else. That's going to take time, and I don't really want to do that right now. I'm a chick on a mission. Ooh, there we go. Let's put some of this. Yes, I think we need an even piece though. All right, I'm going to make room, so excuse the buckets. They're going to disappear, but I may just lean over and grab stuff from it, okay? So I need space. Clean some of this up around here. Holy moly. That too. All right, so we need at least the minimum of that size. So we're getting to trimming in all this afterwards anyways, right? So it's not rocket science, but we do want a nice clean edge. Unless you're doing a really wonky kind of scrappy quilt, then by all means, have at her. Okay, I just want to make sure. Get a nice smooth edge to begin with. I'll cut off, what have I been working with? 2.5 inch strips? Okay. All right, there we go. So we've got a little bit of bright here to go next to our green leafy stuff. I could have done it purples and pinks or whatever, but I wanted to use the Christmas fabric. I mean, I want to tie her into the house and the stuff that we have within the house hanging around, and, you know, remind us of the, 3 years ago we got her. We adopted her. And you can do some applique, you can stitch their name down, you could, we were calling it stocking for the critter. Make it for your cat, your dog, your turtle, your hamster, whatever. All right, we'll cut this off because we don't really need that right now. And let's, we need some red. What's some of this? What's some of that? Let's pop a color. Ooh, there we go. That's nice. Let's pop a color there. Well, this is pulling from your scrappy bin. I had my student that was here, she was so cute. She noticed that the sewing speed, like this, was a little slow the other day because I turned it down for her. She just went, like the button. I just about peed my pants, I was laughing. I go, oh, for full speed, eh? She had me laughing. Kids are so cute, man, I tell you. Okay, now let's get another little chunk of color going on here. And some flannelly bits, get some, because she's a Canadian dog. I have a little bit left over this from my Cardinals and Moose quilt. If you guys saw that on Long Arm Wednesday, there was just a little bit, I use everything. Everything. It has a purpose. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but there's a purpose. I think that should be stamped on every hoarder's house. It's a new bumper sticker. All right, I feel like I've got fluffy on my nose. All right, so what color we need? We need some green. Let's see, we can find some green here. Ooh, yeah, this pop up goldy green. Gold and black and green. There we go. And we'll see, we'll come up to the, weigh it up to the sock size pattern and see what we're up against after this. See if we have to add some more. Or you can just grab a nice, 1/2 meter of fabric from your fabric store and do it a one solid piece. I mean, it's completely up to you. I'm not making you make it just like this. I got scrappy bits, so I might as well use them. All right, let's see what we got going. Okay, so we got enough for one. So that's one side. Now we need to do the other side. And I don't want it solid. I thought about doing it solid, and I thought, yeah, no what? We're gonna do a bit of red cardinal. And we're gonna do a bit of, what's in the bottom bucket here? A little bit of this green, and a little bit of this blue, and a little bit of that red, and And that red. And what else do we got here? Oh, this is the last little bit that I have from that cardinal and moose quilt. This last little chunk, I'm going to stick that in Sophie's. That would be nice. Okay, what else we got going on here? Kind of went a little different from each side. A little bit. Got some more green. What's over here? Gonna fall out of my chair. So excited to get into bucket. Okay, let's start with that. Let's start with this as the toe. Okay. So we just need to make sure we're having enough to cover. Yeah, this cardinal fabric is so pretty. It's been one of my favorites purchases. So, and I'm literally using it up to the very last bits too, because that's just the way you should. All right, so we'll put that there. What should go on top? Let's put some pop of green right on top of those cardinals. And if you want, you've got some really fabulous stitches on your sewing machine that, besides straight stitch, that you could probably use to highlight after you get it all pressed and prettied and cut like that. These little, you know, in between the seams, you can decorate them up. You know, put some little ribbon or beads or, I don't know. I'm sure you can think of something. They had a cute one with a little pointy toe with a bell at the tip, and I really like that too, but we'll go with the traditional sock because all the other ones are traditional in the house. So, all right, so I want to make sure my cabins are right, going the right way. And I like to, oops, make a mess. Got some stray little yarn threads there. Try and see if I can get both those little cabins in my stocking. May not be able to, but that's okay. I think we will clean this up because that's like some bad hairdo, man. There we go. Perfect. I know the countdown's on till good old Christmas. We usually have our, talking about traditions, usually have our Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve, and then that way we can just have a nice big breakfast in the morning before we open up our prezzies and munch on leftovers for the rest of the day. And of course, popcorn. We don't have cable television, and we haven't for 3 or 4 or 5 years now. I don't even know, don't really care. But, so we never know what's in the theaters. I always have to go and look it up, and then I'm kind of surprised. So, all right, we're coming along. Okay, so let's add some red. Let's do this dark red to pull the little cabiny bits together. And this seems to be a couple little different size strips, so that's all right. Living on the wild side. So if anybody wants to share some of their traditions, I'll listen. And thank you to everyone who comments. Much appreciated. I really, really do. We do here at the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. We like your feedback. We like talking to you just as much as you want to be talking to us. How's that? We enjoy your company. And all those subscribers out there, thank you very, very much. We're going to have the long arm Wednesday before Christmas. We're going to do up something for customers who come up in the quilt shop before Christmas. They'll get a little treat from us. All right, we need something different than what I got. Ooh, what's that? Is that long enough? That's a little, ooh, it is. All right. As they say, just enough. I've noticed a lot more of the blow-up Christmas things this year than ever before. I think I used it on that side, didn't I? Okay, I didn't want that. I think it's kind of cool because they're coming out with all sorts of shapes. I saw Minions a couple years ago. I was like, oh my God. And there's one really close to where I do crossing guard that has a big minion dude. He's so cute. Just kind of want to wrap and hug him. All right, I think a couple more and then we'll take a measure and then we'll do some pinning and cutting and sewing. Ooh, I got floofs. I got big floofs coming up. I almost ended up in my teacup. It just kind of woo. Wouldn't be the first time. Had threads or something in my teacup. All right, let's use this funky green. And you can use scraps of anything you have left over. I mean, it doesn't have to be just Christmas fabric, right? You can recycle an old shirt or a favorite sweater that doesn't fit you anymore or that's got some stains on the front. You can recycle that into a Christmas stocking. Be creative. As I say, your only limitation is your imagination. All right, what else we got going on here? Doo-doo. I like this really stripy bit. So if we need any extra, let's see what we got going on here. Do we need any extra? Oh, just a smidge. Okay, I want to get a little bit of that stripy bit. This is cute. I can't remember what I used it on before, but and I wasn't sure, it kind of looked a little Christmassy, and I just tossed it in with the Christmas pile. It's got stars on it. Why not? Okay, put some line. Doo-doo-doo. And how much did we need? Actually, let's cut a chunk off. And finish the top with the star bits. Okay. There we go. I like that. And this says you can have a nice, do a cuff, a 9-inch cuff I think is on. It actually says right on the pattern, 14.5 by 9 inch. So, or that says that width cuff. Cut left and right piece in main fabric, lining fabric, and interfacing optional. Cut one cuff in accent of 14.5 by 9. Okay. And so then the pattern's only 3 sheets. I didn't print off the first one because it was just all color stuff. So, all right, so we got our stuff. We don't need that or that or that. Okay. Okay, and then we'll do this because we only want to do it one time. Okay, so pin it together and we'll pin this down. And you can do it so it sits on an angle as long as you got your edgy bits in, or twist it a little bit more this way, whatever you got your angle. I'm going to go a little bit on an angle here because that's just how we are. Okay, so I'm going to put some big pins in. And then I'm going to cut it out. Okay. There we go. And that's the fun part. You know, do it any way you like. Leave enough room so you can have a little bit of fun in manipulating it. Making sure I got enough for my toe here. Yeah, I do. Just enough for the toe. And I'm not going to line it. I'm just going to do it the way it is because I'm not saying it's just for Sophie, but it, you know, just for the doggy. I don't think any of our other ones are lined. Are they? No, I don't think so. My husband and I made our own Christmas stockings like 20 years ago. We still use the same ones. He made mine and I made his, and that was one of our Christmas gifts to each other. So, joys of loving a sewer. We make you make our gifts because that's what we want. So just take your scissors and you just cut it out around, and then we'll sew it. I'm giving myself just a kind of like a little tiny seam allowance. And of course you would press this, because that would be better. Okay. And of course, these other bits will end up in the box because something else is going to call for just a little bit of this or a little bit of that. It's like the words of the hoarders of the tools. You need all the wrenches, not just one wrench, all of them. And there's lots of free patterns out there, or you can make your own. You know, it's completely up to you. But just have fun at least. Okay? Just have fun. And be creative. All right, so now we'll take those two and sew them together. Do 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 do. All right, I was gonna say, what's under there? The scissors. All right, now we're just gonna take those pins that we just took out and put them back in. And since we're not matching up seams or anything like that, because they're different pieces on both sides, just make sure you got the shape the same all the way around. Like the heel is where the heel is supposed to be, the toe is supposed to be where the toe is supposed to be. You know, not too much shifting. That's kind of why I tried to keep the toes solid with cutting on a circle like that. I didn't want too much of a weird issue. And then you can add your little ribbon or your bows or bells or what have you. Okay. Just going to scoot all the way around. Okay. I'm using my long arm pins. And when before you turn it right side out, you're going to want to trim those curves. Give them some relief cuts, right? So make sure it's going to turn out properly. And then you can always stitch around on the outside edge, a nice decorative stitch, or just a nice little straight stitch to seal in these raw edges. I got pinned to my shirt there. I was going with it. Okay. Are you making noise, Sophie? Are you making noise because you know this is your Christmas stockings? Probably not. She's like, I don't give a crap. Crud. Sorry. Bad word. Right. Okay, so now we're going to put some relief cuts. Okay, so there's one side. There's the other. Okay. And just in the curve, like the curve of the heel, the curve of this part of the foot, and around the toe. Just don't go into your stitches, of course, but you want to give yourself a couple of relief cuts. Actually, these ones I find like the tips they get right down in there, so I like those ones for that. I know it sounds silly when you have like 7 or 8 pairs of scissors in the quilt shop or your sewing room, but really sometimes you need all 7 or 8 pairs of those scissors. So counting that, I'm about 5 scissors short, so. Okay. Almost sounds like a couple pickles short of a picket. I'm 5 scissors short. Of what? Okay, just want to snip around. Okay, did I get the inside? No, I didn't. Really, Sophie? Alrighty then. I would say there might be a boy in the yard. She's not fixed. And we know when there's a boy in the yard. Okay, we're just gonna finish her little sock off. I'm just gonna fill this over and put like a little hem and then a little ribbon to hang up with all the other ones, and then a little dog bone on it. So before she goes all crazy on us here, I will say thank you very much for watching the Mama Pop Quilt Shop, and we will see you on Long Arm Wednesday and Weekend Projects. Thank you very much, and Christmas is coming. Very excited. Thanks, everyone. See you soon.